Hello everyone and welcome to Hybrid Budgets, and this is my June budget. So let's zoom in and have a quick squiz on what I've got planned this month. I've done it a bit more colourful actually. I hope you like all the rainbow colours. So in terms of this month, I've just marked in all the days I'm going using the train or potentially working from home. Or if I'm doing a site visit, because these are then expenses that I need to accrue for. So my train cost me about £10 a day. Working from home obviously doesn't cost me anything. My site visits, I'll pay petrol, so it's just depending on how much that'll be, but that all goes on my credit card anyway, and then I expense that, and that gets paid off the month after. So yeah, coming up Wednesday, I've got as part of our Hearts and Minds charity situation we did last month, we won a round of golf, me and my manager. So we're going golfing Wednesday afternoon, which should be good fun. So I'm gonna, I just planned a bit for eating out on that one because I think there'll probably be some drinks and stuff, and it's like a bit of a charity ball thing. So you do like a game of golf, you have a barbecue, and then you like buy drinks and everything, and that all goes. I think the golf course are putting it on, and then it raises money. Then I've got a baby barbecue on the 7th. I've got a 30th barbecue on the 14th. I'm then looking around our venue on the 21st. So I'm preempting, I'm going to be spending some wedding money there. But these two I've got gifts I need to buy for. Then I've got my cousin's wedding. And I'm staying up with my brother. So I've got a fuel, I'm likely to need a fuel top up because he lives up in Newcastle. And I've also got the twins' birthday there, and I've also booked to see Chris Hadfield, who is I think I've put Hatfield, but I think he's called Hadfield, who's an astronaut, which my partner really wanted to see, so he's doing like a speech thing. So we booked that all a while ago for Christmas, but that's all coming up. So in terms of expenses, that's what I think will be happening. So yeah, gifts here, birthday and wedding here, train and fuel expenses all coming up. So yeah, that's the overview for the month. In terms of where we are with all the pots, I've just realised now as I'm recording this that I've not done my close down properly because I've not done the penny savings challenge, so I have reminded myself now that I need to do that. This is where we're up to with all the pots. So I mean, I won't list through them, I'll go through that in the close down, but I just wanted to note that my percentage for the pots has gone down because the base rate has gone down. So it's at 3.75% now rather than 4%, and then our wedding one is still at 3.55%, but my nationwide ones are still at 6.5%, which is good because that's where I put my emergency fund. And then what I do need to include, which I haven't included as part of the budget now, so this will be in addition to what I'm budgeting, is I have £72 left over in eating out. So depending on what the budget, how it goes, I've got that £72 buffer. So I think what I'll end up doing is probably put £2 in penny savings challenge. In fact, I might just mark that in now. And then the £70 might go into gifts because I've got to budget for them. So yeah, let's go through it now. She says not being able to open it. Right. So, budget-wise, salary and expenses, I've budgeted £3,030. It actually, it's got paid in today. It's actually £3,058.38, so that's a bit of an inbuilt buffer. Sinking funds, I'm planning on only withdrawing the sinking fund credit card and the sinking fund credit card pot, which is £145. So this is money we spent on the credit card last month that should have really been spent from one of the pots, but for whatever reason I put it on the credit card. So I've just withdrawn from those pots the amount, and then that gets withdrawn obviously to pay off an element of the credit card. The rest of the credit card expenses are through work expenses, which gets paid off from this money here. And then emergency funds. So what I do is I withdraw £150 from my Monzo pot. That's at a lower percentage rate and is easy access, and then I transfer that into my nationwide pot, which I can transfer a maximum of £200 a month in. So I put £150 from one pot to the other, and then I top this up £50. So going through that now, let me just zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. So in terms of fixed expenses, these I think are all pretty normal. So I've got 771 for mortgage, life insurance, e-mobile, house insurance, council tax and account fees. And here you'll see I've budgeted the £200 for the Start to Save ISA, whereas that originally was £50. So just moving that money, that £150 from one place to another. So all my fixed expenses are basically stuff that comes out my current account, and then all my variable sinking funds and all that stuff comes out my Monzo account pretty much. So you can see these are all NW. Brill. And so fixed expenses come to £1,500. Oh, the only difference and change that I need to note is that £200 and my MBNA. So I've now transferred my money from Virgin Pink to MBNA, but the minimum payment percentage is different. So on my Virgin Pink it was 2%, on my MBNA it's 2.5%. So rather than paying £70, bear in mind I was rounding up that £70, so it was actually a lot less than £70. Or was it? I'm trying to think now. It must have been 1.5%, you know, because it's now 2.5%. Or is it 3.5% and my other one was 2? I'm not sure, but I was only paying £70 last time, whereas now I'm paying 130 something. So I'm budgeting 140 for it, and I'll be budgeting that going forward now in fixed. So that will come out as the direct debit. So that comes to £1,500, which leaves a leftover £2,100. Sorry, realising you can't see it. £2,100, and that can then get split between the variable expenses. So for my Virgin Atlantic credit card, I'm budgeting £276. So I worked that out last month, so I think it was £275 something. So again, I just round everything up. Joint account gets the usual, so £300 goes into the joint account, £200 goes into eating out, hobbies and entertainment I'm budgeting £50, birthdays and gifts I'm budgeting £15, home improvement budgeting £40, hair, beauty and clothes I'm budgeting £40, so they've got slightly less this month. So with that extra £72 from eating out, I might top those up depending on what we need. Electronics, I'm budgeting £40. Emergency fund extra overpayment, I'm budgeting £40. Debt extra overpayments getting £70 this month, and that's all going to Tesco too. Home improvement, I'm budgeting £60. Holiday, I'm budgeting £40. Health, I'm budgeting £20, and odds and evens is also getting £40. And future, as usual, we both put in £400 for that. Christmas gets £90, and birthday and gifts is getting slightly more this month, just because I've got the twins' birthday and also the wedding. My cousin's wedding, and so I think the additional £70 will probably go into this pot to cover those. So that comes to £860, which leaves £329 left over. Annual expenses, so I have my general annual expenses. So this month's cash stuffing, I split down exactly what those cover. So you can see what I pay £30 a month into. So that all goes into one pot that pays for all my annual expenses, such as like the Ring, doorbell, my Remarkable subscription, and some other stuff, cricket for instance, so that all comes out of that pot. And my water bill also gets £30 a month, so I save that separately in a pot, and then when the bill comes, hopefully I'll have enough to pay that off. So that comes to £60, and that leaves £269 left over. I'm not paying anything into ICE sub fees because that's fully funded now, and Virgin Atlantic I've got rid of, so I don't need to pay anything into that, so that's why that one's lower. And then finally, credit card expenses. So I'm budgeting £160 on the train, £100 in fuel, and £11 in work expenses. So that should come to £271. So I've got £269 basically to carry over to next month, of which I know £271 will probably be the Virgin credit card expense. But for for £2, sorry, I'm not too worried about that. So my buffer in my bank should be £269. And that is it for my June budget. So what I have then done is I've just done a bit of a breakdown to work out how much I'll be cash stuffing each month. So from that budget, I said, okay, I'm going to budget £10 a week for home, £15 a week for home maintenance, holidays, etc., debt, health, general, annual and water. So just so you can see where I get all my numbers from in terms of my weekly stuffing. So I always think that's quite useful to see in how people come up with it and stuff, and how I alternate emergency fund if I'm only budgeting 40, and same with health. Although health does need a little pick me up because I have broken my glasses. So typically when I was really close to finishing it and fully funding it, my glasses break. So yeah, that definitely needs a bolster. But yeah, that is my budget for June. So I hope you've enjoyed. I'm always conscious I rattle through, so I hope I haven't rattled through too much, but I just think it's quite useful to know where people's budgets come from and how they break it down. And I'm just so nosy, I love to see other people's budgets. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch up with you for week 1 cash stuffing. Bye.